Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Thursday, 17th day of February. Here we go. Today's halacha is about eating cholent on Friday night, but I got to back up and explain some of that to you. Cholent is that delicious stew kind of food that is put in the oven or crock pot on Friday afternoon before Shabbos, stays warm and bubbles away all the way up until Shabbos lunch. That's totally allowed if you arrange it properly before Shabbos. Speak to your rabbi about exactly how to do that properly. But here's the thing. If you want to take some of that on Friday night, enjoy some of that delicious cholent, and then put it back on its hot fire or crock pot spot, when you do that, you could be violating some Shabbos laws, so I want to tell you how to do it properly. What you cannot do is dip your ladle or spoon into the cholent, stir it around, and just take out what you want and serve it to people. The reason you're not allowed to do that is because your cholent is still on the crock pot, on the fire, or in the oven, or whatever, and you're stirring it. And that's like helping it cook, and you're not allowed to do that on Shabbos. So don't stir it out or dish it out while it's still on the fire. Now, so you might say, fine, I'll take it off the fire, put it down on the table, leave it there for a few minutes while I do all my stuff. That's going to be wonderful, and then I'll put it back on the fire. Hold it. You're not allowed to put it back on the fire because you're not allowed to return something to a cooking fire on Shabbos, so you're not allowed to do it that way either. You have to basically do something that's kind of like in between. You pick up the cholent pot. It's off the fire now. Now you're allowed to stir it because it's not on the fire. Dish it out to everybody. Hold on to it still. And while you're holding it, dish it out to everybody. And then when you're finished, put it back on the fire. And you did it okay this time. Why? Because you weren't stirring it while it was on the fire because it was up in midair. You weren't putting it back onto the fire from having been kind of off the fire because the rabbis deem it still kind of like on the fire because it was still in your hands. And your intention was to put it right back on the fire. So it kind of sort of didn't fully leave the fire. If you do it that way, then it will be permissible for you to dish out the cholent and then put it back on the fire. If you're going to become a regular doer of this on Friday nights, or even if you're going to do it once in a while, check with the rabbi to get all the details right. Because if you do it a little bit wrong, then it could be considered a problem. You don't necessarily have to have both hands out all the time. It doesn't necessarily have to be in midair. But that's why I want you to speak to a rabbi about how exactly do I have it like it's still technically on the fire. Mostly it has to do with your hands still being on it and making sure that you intend very quickly to put it back on the fire. So speak to a rabbi to get this right if you're going to be a regular Friday night cholent person. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.